Hello Adventure Nation. If you remember in the last video we said we were going to Old Tucson. I lied.
We're not there.
My ADD kicked in because this is the motorhome experiment. Alright, so where did we wind up? We are here at Biosphere 2. Now, you may recognize Biosphere 2 from a movie called Biodome. I think it had Pauly Shore and one of the Baldwin brothers. I believe it was Billy Baldwin. And not a great movie, but it's kind of a funny movie. But it has this in it, and it is all about two guys that sneak into this thing before it gets closed up, because it actually was closed up at one time. It was a science experiment, and they closed this off to see if people could live inside of it. And we're about to take a tour of it. Yeah, obviously you can see some of the plants and stuff inside. The walls sweating, because I'm sure it's hot in there, and they create different environments. This is some of the habitat area where they actually lived and did some of the experiments.
They have very different ecosystems, from desert to jungle to many different things. And the idea was the experiment, to put these people there with no outside oxygen or air or nothing. They were uncommunicated for like, what, 1 year, I believe it was? Something
like that.
And they had to grow their own food and make their life sustainable. And a few times they actually almost ran out of oxygen, because of the plants were taking all the oxygen out of it too. So it's a very interesting experiment they did. And this is called Biosphere 2. So do you wonder where is Biosphere 1? Like, if you want to know, stick around till the end of the video. We will tell you where Biosphere 1 is. So Paul, if you were recruited right now to do that experiment, been in there for a year, no communication, no nothing, just trying to survive. See if you can survive in that environment. Will you do it?
Well, in the 80s, they didn't really know any different. So, like, communication wasn't as big as it was and all that kind of stuff.
But I'm talking about right now.
Right now,
no
me right now?
No cell phone and nothing.
No. Do we get internet?
Just for experiments, but not like to YouTube.
We're not allowed to YouTube. We're not allowed to Facebook. I probably still would. I mean, to be part of something like this would be pretty special, I think. I'm not saying it wouldn't be extremely hard for any of you guys that are, you know, freaking out when you get a little bit disconnected like I do. It's probably a little different, but...
See, he says that. I don't believe him.
No, I would. For the sake of science, I would do that.
Volunteer.
Yeah, I would, what's it say? Sacrifice myself.
Sacrifice, okay. So, let's go in.
Oh, see, they weren't totally disconnected from the outside world. They actually had visitors, so that wouldn't be too bad.
It's not like being on the zoo. You're behind the window.
It's kind of like a zoo animal. I agree.
Oh,
this is going to be
so mean.
This is really going to be cool. I'm going to enjoy this. So, Lori, where are you taking us?
To the, how do they call them? Human habitat.
Yes.
So it's where they have their bedrooms, kitchen, offices, where they will work and do their research and live, basically.
This looks like a giant monkey bar thing. It's really cool. And stuff. This was one of the crew rooms, so this is where they lived during the experiment. It's actually got a lot of space. They could have tried living in an RV. I think they would be good at
This
that.
is probably the size of an RV. Like the living space is very small, but then you go upstairs to the tiny bedroom too.
Right, there is a second story to
It's a
this.
two-story. It's like tiny apartments. See, tiny living back then.
You guys will be able to read a little bit about the apartment there. Let me see if I can.
What I like to do
Love the
here
smells.
is give you a physical orientation to the site. There are 4 main areas to Biosphere 2. This section you've been in so far was referred to as the human habitat. So you saw some signs.
So this area that we're just leaving right now is the orchard.
They have citrus trees, fig, bananas, coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Very cool.
To my left is the rainforest.
This area here is called the wilderness. We're now going into the rainforest, and this is the ocean area as well. This place is really cool. You feel the humidity and the temperature change in here?
Yes. Rainforest. Look at it. Beautiful.
So I hear that you totally picked up on the idea this is a tropical climate. In the original
These particular plants here are a bunch of mangroves. So we should see a bunch of those when we get to Florida. Really cool. Lori holding up the tour.
Sorry. Selfie. I guess now we're in the desert.
Now we're back in an environment we understand. This area here is called the coastal fog area, and it's meant to be desert with very high humidity that gets put into the building because of the way it's built, but very cool area. Now we're going down into the basement. We're going to see some of the systems that create all this, that keep oxygen in here, that do all the water systems and all that kind of stuff. This should be really cool.
See, and outside that glass is freezing, in here is so hot and humid.
We are about to go into the South Long Tunnel. This should be really cool. So we have about a 2-minute walk through this tunnel to get out to the other side to see this lung, and the lung is the system that provided or kept air flowing back and forth. So this should be cool.
The pressure.
Yeah, maintain pressure in here.
Look up there.
And then here comes the really small one.
If there is a zombie apocalypse, this is the place you want to be.
I can almost go through it up, right?
Man.
Alright. First of all, that is water in that low area, looks shiny. This is the low point of the whole structure. The building was intentionally designed so that everything would drain into this area. We have leaks.
This chamber is so cool. Everything echoes like crazy down here, and It is one of the most amazing feats of engineering I have ever seen or heard of. Absolutely incredible the way this thing kept pressure in the building. You guys got to Google that because it is sick. Yeah. This disc up above my head weighs 16 tons, so 32,000 pounds, and it's now lowering because they opened a door, and it's just crazy cool.
Yeah, if you stay still, you can sit.
Grab onto the right side. There are sharp metal corners. Feel free to grab onto the left side if you want some support.
Or crawl.
I'll be holding the door open. I've never had anybody not make it. I shouldn't say that.
Say crawl.
Oh no, the fan's starting to fill that back up again.
This is fantastic.
Okay, Lori. Okay, Lori, you ready to go out through the wind tunnel?
Windy.
All right.
Oh, nice sun.
This seems like a fairly well-equipped kitchen, Lori.
It is. That's very cool. So you can grow your own.
Grow your plants right in your kitchen. Grow your spices. That's kind of cool. And then they can see out to that was their orchard right there. Very cool.
Before you can walk the kitchen and all that stuff.
Okay, Biosphere 2 tour is over. Heading back to the coach. I think we should rename our coach Biosphere 3.
The next one, Paul.
The next one? It's not sustainable enough for you? It's not really self-sustainable. No, not really. We have to have a lot of outside influence.
Yeah, we still have to order stuff from Amazon. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, so a couple of things I want to mention about Biosphere is it's around 20 bucks a person. I personally think it's really worth it. Thoughts, Lori?
I think it's awesome. Yeah, 20 bucks is great.
Yeah. So really worth the 20 bucks. The actual tour itself is about an hour to an hour and a half. They walk you through all the areas of the Biosphere, including the basement where the equipment is, which is really cool. And just seeing the lungs, the thing that kept pressure in the building, absolutely incredible. You do have a lot of stairs. There's a lot of walking involved in the tour. The whole thing's walking, so you got to be able to walk the tour. And Biosphere 2. Now, do you guys know what Biosphere 1 is, since this is called Biosphere 2? Biosphere 1 is the Earth. It's the planet we live on, and they thought that Earth is an environmentally, basically it's an enclosed environment with energy coming from the outside, the sun, of course, and so that's what they were doing here as well. They were going to make something that was a controlled environment on the inside, and then energy coming from the outside. So that's the concept behind Biosphere 2. Really, really cool. I like this kind of stuff. I don't know anything about science, but I love what science gives us. So the stuff that they learned from this was really cool, and it's just a neat tour. I think kids would like it as well. So you could bring kids, And what else, Lori? That's about it. It's just outside of Tucson, only, I don't know, 20 miles or so outside of Tucson. And now we are heading, I'm not going to promise because Lori told me to stop promising where we're going. So I'm just going to say we're heading in the general direction of Old Tucson. Just the general direction. In case my ADD kicks in and we wind up somewhere completely different. But that's kind of the plan, is to head over there. Ready to roll?
Ready.
Cool. We had to make a quick stop at Trader Joe's on the way to the campground to pick up some last minute supplies, and I've got to pick up a little cotter pin for the stairs and hopefully get the stairs working again. If you guys didn't hear already, the stairs quit working. So again, one of those things that just happens on the road. Are you ready to divide and conquer?
Absolutely.
Okay, we arrived at Gilbert Ray Campground, which is just up the road from Old Tucson. So we'll be ready for Old Tucson in the morning. Just grabbing a little bit of water. They have electric here, but no water at the site. So they've got these water stations, which is great. We've already got the car unhooked and ready to rock and roll up in there because I doubt the spots are going to be any pull-through spots. It's a state park campground. I will tell you guys, if you're coming up from Tucson to Gilbert Ray Campground and Old Tucson and your GPS takes you Gates Pass Road, don't take Gates Pass Road. It is a nightmare. Really, really picturesque. Very cool. If you're in a smaller rig, I would say if you don't have a tow car and you're under 30 feet, no problem whatsoever. If you're over 30 feet and have a tow car, don't take Gates Pass Road. Go the other direction. I just picked shortest route and away I went, and a little stressed, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait to check out the campground. We normally don't get in when it's daylight, so I'm not used to being able to see it. So this should be cool. All right, we're all settled in here at Gilbert Ray Campground. We had a great time at Biosphere 2. If you haven't seen that, man, I really recommend that you go do that. If you're in the Tucson area, in on around Tucson, check out Biosphere 2. Very cool stuff. Great science, really cool, some history, really cool history. Just a neat place overall. And if you're coming to Gilbert Ray Campground from Tucson, don't use Gates Pass Road. It's a little bit of a nightmare, especially if you're a longer rig and you're towing a vehicle. I highly recommend you go the other direction, and I will get you guys that information when we do an overview of this campground here in the next video. We're just down the street from Old Tucson, kind of the reason we chose this campground, which is really handy to that. We'll be checking that out in the next couple of days as well. So we appreciate you guys watching. We're going to close it out here for the day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the videos we're doing on RV living and how-tos and all that kind of stuff, and places that we're visiting. We're going to visit some really neat places. Try to stay off the highways and on the 2 lanes and things like that. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.